Aries. Let's begin. So, very in aligned with Venus today. You are at the bottom of my astrology deck. The energy around you is dynamic and spontaneous. Crusading, impulsive action is likely at this time. I love that for you. But what came out was Venus, the part of you that desires beauty, success, indulgence, and valuables. Vesta, the goddess within in your sacred spiritual center and a quiet dignity. And also the moon, your unconscious, sensitive inner emotions and responses. Aries, I think that with this full moon in Aquarius energy, it's really about figuring out a way to balance your emotional needs with your material needs. I do think that Venus wants practicality and stability. You may have a Callie around you. I'm hearing the name Callie. That's why I said it. But Venus wants practical solutions and stability, but Venus also is bougie and she wants to have a lot of stability. She wants to have it all. You desire success. You desire to feel somewhat indulgent. You want to have all your material needs met. But with Vesta and the moon coming out, you also really want to get in touch with your subconscious feelings. Like, how are you feeling about love, life, success, abundance? Are you in alignment with love and abundance at this time? You're very quietly dignified in a situation, which suggests that you might be going through something difficult, because Vesta has to just have not a stiff upper lip, but it's like this asteroid influences us to be quietly dignified and spiritually centered and being diplomatic. Both Vesta and Venus are diplomatic. They want harmony, but it suggests that you might be going through something emotionally difficult in regards to the material plane and relationships. There's impulsive and crusading and dynamic energy within you and around you at this time. What the Taoist masters have to say is longevity, free spirit, and opportunity. But karma's at the bottom of the deck as your challenge. So there are cycles of birth and death playing out right now. Your situation arose from past choices that you made. So there's karma involved, and that's not a punishment. It's a moment to realize that anywhere you are right now, or anywhere a loved one is around you right now, y'all are where you are because of the choices you've made up until now. But this is the time to create good karma and make good karmic choices is now, Aries. You have to accept some things as they are, and things are working towards a final balance. I notice with Snake, with opportunity, this is about a temptation of some kind, but it is a positive temptation. You are on the right track. It is an opportune time, but you need to be wise and be a practical strategist. Most reptiles are practical strategists. They're sort of ish at the top of the food chain. Depends on what food chain and ecosystem they're in. So what kind of food chain are you in? Or what kind of ecosystem are you in right now? You need to know your motives and anticipate a successful outcome, but you need to keep your cool and be strategic. Are you in the right place for good opportunities? You will be feeling very free-spirited. You've been at something for a while, okay? You're being asked to attend to things before they become a problem at the beginning of the month. You are also being asked to be flexible at this time. You may need to take a different approach to your own wellness, health, well-being, and stability at this time. You've got what it takes to make it. But there's good fortune and opportunity coming in. Spirit's saying go for it. Be fearless. Focus on achievements and success. Just don't burn yourself out, and remember to be strategic. It might be a little tough, though, because you're dealing with the consequences of some past choices that you've made. You've just got to work through those to a new beginning. I love all that advice for you. And again, pay attention to your emotional needs. It's like your own constellation is saying go for it, but make sure you know what's motivating you. Make sure your emotional and physical well-being is being met at this time. There may also be someone around you that's very focused on that, but they might not be able to open up and tell you because they're sensitive and maybe a little insecure about it. Okay, balancing financial needs, emotional needs, all that. Here's what you need to surrender to. Surrender to addictions, whether you're addicted to a substance, food, people, sex, or overworking. Take action to begin to heal the addiction and replace it with healthier alternatives. I sense that you guys are like sort of fixated on something. I'm actually feeling like some OCD tendencies that need to be worked through. I'm hearing that rather than do something to self-soothe in a situation that's difficult in the beginning of the month, hold still and sit with your feelings and get to the bottom of them. Because someone's doing too much of something to deal with a harsh reality. That's why we become addicted to any behavior pattern. It's our way of inappropriately dealing with a reality that's uncomfortable for us. Work through the uncomfortable areas. Watch what you're saying, doing. If you're doing too much of anything, it's not good for you at this time. You really need to surrender outdated beliefs about yourself and surrender people pleasing. There's drama you need to stay away from too. Aries, you guys are like solutionists. You just hop right to it. You're like, I've got this. Hold my beer. Watch me now. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be super resourceful and just come up with a plan and everything's going to be fine. But what if you're doing that in excess, Aries? Watch out for people pleasing at this time. Either you or someone close to you is working through this people pleasing thing. And it's probably to keep things from being dramatic. That's why we get all people pleasy to begin with, because we don't want the drama. And I feel like Venus and the asteroid of Vesta are trying to come up with, it's like with the moon, get in touch with your emotions. How can you do things better and create more balance between your needs and other people's needs? It's not by being people pleasing just to get away from drama. Just get away from the drama. Don't be a part of it. It's like you're doing too much of something and it probably involves other people because you don't want to deal with the drama. Probably because you guys don't want to lose your temper. You guys are very sensitive, very emotional. People don't realize that about you. But this one's a big one, Aries. Surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. You believe things are true of you now that are not true of you. Maybe they were true of you a decade ago. That's not who you are now. You're who you are today. You are not the person you used to be. Let go of shame and guilt or this I can't do it, I'm not that kind of person attitude. Okay, that's an outdated belief system. And you need to own your own power and soar to greater heights in your own life. Yep, and with the North Node going into Aries, I feel like this is all to help you get there. Overall energy of the reading or the person around you is judgment. That's Scorpio energy. The way someone's feeling is the devil. That's Capricorn energy. You're being seen or you want to see yourself as the Nine of Pentacles. What you need to know, what's hidden, or your advice is the Hierophant. That's Taurus. And the final outcome is the Moon. You're being strong. Here you are at the bottom of the deck. Whoa, this looks like, oh my God, some of you are about to get some kind of a win or a new job. Something very successful, good news coming in that's going to make you feel amazing about yourself. This is something about an animal, maybe. You don't want to be around an animal. You don't want a Leo around. This Queen of Wands could be another feminine. I'm also seeing that other people may block you or try to block your success. Someone's hanging on financially. They are not solution focused. They're looking back over their shoulder. They're afraid to step outside of a comfort zone. Someone's struggling to see a solution. They're hanging on too tight to something. Someone may also be really saving money. Some of you might be a little afraid to take a risk. People think that Aries are these huge risk takers. Well, you are willing to take a risk, but that doesn't make you an idiot. The fool is not always an idiot. So I'm going to read this as the energy around you or coming towards you, Aries, someone coming towards you, but this could all be you, okay? With judgment here, someone's at a crossroads. You might be at a real crossroads right now, and Spirit's saying, wake up. The judgment's a 20-year card for me. It's like the next major decision somebody makes could quite literally impact the next 2 decades of their life. It's more than a surface level choice. Clarifying this is the Four of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords, and the Hangman. Okay, first of all, some of you need to be alerted to the fact that someone around you might be stealing something from you or taking something from you. Someone might not be willing to share resources. Some of you are in a situation that you are not very comfortable with the Hangman of Pisces. Because look, he's losing all his coins. This person's hanging on to their coins. And this person's feeling like they need to be a little sneaky. Or if it's not a lie or sneakiness, it's like someone feels like they need to stay one step ahead of everyone else. They don't feel supported. They want to get out of a situation that they don't feel comfortable with. They're not in a situation that's right for them, and they're holding back and holding on. They don't have a lot to give. They also don't feel very comfortable with that either. I'm kind of backed into a corner here. I definitely need to see something from a different point of view. I need to hold on to what's mine. Someone is fearful of losing stability. Someone may act upon their own behalf. I am hearing something about stealing or a struggle to share resources. Someone may have been generous in the past and they can't be anymore, or you can't be anymore. And the way someone's feeling is the devil. Now, the devil really, that's Capricorn. And similar to Venus energy, the devil really wants to have it all, but it can be a little too much of something. Someone may feel chained and bound to something as well. This could also be a codependency or an insecurity. Clarifying this is the Ace of Swords, Justice, that's Libra, and the Nine of Wands. So some of you or someone around you is having to deal with a consequence for past actions. They know the truth and they know what they have to do, but they may struggle to do it. And there's going to be boundaries tested as well. And strategy being implored with the Seven of Swords, because this is the opposite of the Two of Cups, where two people sit down and talk. This is, no, I kind of need to act upon my own behalf. Some of you, someone is supposed to sign like some kind of a contract with you or work with you in some way, but there is a balance that needs to be faced and talked about, and they kind of don't want to do it. Someone may want to sever a tie with you, or you may want to sever some kind of a tie, but you just don't know how to do it. Now, you're being seen as the Nine of Pentacles. That's having it all. That's abundance. That's luxury. It may have something to do with health and wellness, maybe real estate, something to do with outdoors. This is living in abundance. This is a very healthy, stable person. But clarifying this is the Four of Cups, the Seven of Cups, and the Fool. There you are. Some of you are realizing that like maybe your money isn't going as far as you'd like it to in a certain scenario, or you don't have a lot to give. You're not in a situation you feel comfortable with, and you want to do well. That's the Venus energy. And some of you in the beginning of the month you're not 100% sure how you feel. You want to explore other options. You'll be doing a lot of daydreaming, fantasizing, looking at other options to feel a sense of freedom and to take you in a direction that will lead you to all that abundance and stability. But I think with the Four of Cups and the Four of Pentacles, which are difficult, you don't want to disrupt your own stability. I also think in the beginning of the month, someone will realize that somebody else isn't doing 100% right by them. Like you might be being charged too much rent. You may come across something in like health insurance or a will or the bills or something that's not quite right. And you're like, why am I in this scenario? I'm not doing as well as I want to here. I want to move towards something better. Because this person, it has a lot and is very proud of themselves. She's showing off. But this person barely has anything. They'll lose stability if they're not careful with their coins. So some of you are like, I am not in the right scenario for me to have this abundance. I need to look elsewhere. Spirit's trying to tell you that. Or someone feels like they might be in kind of a toxic situation. They feel chained and bound to it and they want to get out of it. I also think that this person doesn't want to hurt you in any way or take abundance away from you. It's just that the two of you might not be in alignment with goals. And this person may have some problems that they don't want to admit to you. Because I have the devil and strength here, needing to be strong in a situation that we cannot ignore. It's not easy. Here's what you need to know or your advice. This is the Hierophant. This is a commitment card, and it is Taurus. But clarifying, this is the Three of Cups, the Six of Pentacles, and the Ten of Wands. Okay. A hidden factor that you need to see here is, for some of you, this is like one of your kids or you, maybe like going back to school. You might need to move. You might need to pay for something. This is a place where we gather together. It is a church. It can be a community place. It can be a place to live or work, but it's being part of something greater than yourself with a lot of fellowship. But it requires equal give and take and maybe paying more, and it may require a relocation or a move. But it would be so much better for you, or someone is considering this. I'm also hearing that someone may go live with extended family members elsewhere for a while, or they're thinking about like doing something for self and betterment. It would be more creative, more collaborative. Everybody would get along better. Some of you are like, I don't work where I need to be working. I'm not living where I should be. There is a different place where everyone gets along better and everyone's beliefs are in alignment with yours, Aries, and that might be better for you, or that's what you need to know about the person around you. Someone around you may be wanting to skip out of something in some way. They might not want to talk to you about it, but they know that they have to. They're not happy. Like one of your spouse may come home in the beginning of the month, or a family member or someone, and be like, look, I'm not in a good scenario, and this is not going to be good for you either. Like, I don't trust the company I work for. I'm not feeling good about this situation. We need to do something a little different. This isn't what I want to do, but it's something I have to do. This person does feel the need to protect themselves and act upon their own behalf. Like they have to face this truth about something that's unhealthy. You do or they do. But it's like you're bringing in a lot of hope. Aries always does. You bring in a lot of hope and enthusiasm. And you're like, yeah, we can do this. But the final outcome is the moon. Someone's going to feel a Pisces energy, Cancerian energy. Someone is going to feel very emotional at this time. Here's the moon coming out of in the tarot. Things are not as they seem. There's a lot of heavy emotion here. And clarifying this is the Two of Cups, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Three of Swords. A conversation will take place that's very necessary. And it may be kind of heartbreaking, or there's pessimism involved and uncertainty. Someone's got to look themselves in the mirror, look at the details, and it's like, wow, this hurts, this sucks, I'm pessimistic. It's not going the way I want. If this is happening between you and a partner, you guys really need to hear an inner calling, okay? What risk are you willing to take? Are you exploring all your options? You need to be fair and honest. It's going to be a test of faith. It's not going to be comfortable either. What are you chained and bound to that's got you in a scenario or them in a scenario where they're not feeling good? It doesn't feel good to hang like that. He's not there because he wants to be. He got himself into that situation. So, and it might be about where you work. This is also someone looking at details and the budget. Someone may also, I'm also hearing, Aries, that someone is looking at you and seeing you as the Nine of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands and strength, with like strength and vitality, and you're doing really well, and you're a passionate woman or man and leader, and you really inspire them. But in order for them to follow through with that inspiration, they're going to have to face some stuff. They may want to come and work with you, be near you. Conversely, they may want to move away from you in some way. That needs to be talked about. Here's what you need to know about this person. These are the things they want to say to you. I still have feelings for you, so they care about you. They hide their feelings, though. This is a person that has strong feelings and hides their feelings. That's the moon and Vesta coming out, and I don't know what comes next. These may be things you need to say to them as well. And also in the shadows of the heart, I pretend that I don't care, and I wonder how far I wondered how far this would go. I forgive you is at the bottom of the deck. So there may be a beef between the two of you, that a forgiveness is possible in the beginning of the month, okay? You've been dealing with someone, Aries, that when someone says, I don't, like, they're hiding their feelings. They have feelings, but they hide them. And they pretend that they don't care. This is not, someone here needs to be encouraged to be honest and vulnerable and authentic with their feelings. And these two cards, I don't know what comes next, and I wondered how far it would go. Someone's been making it up as they go along. They're not resourceful and they're not a good planner. They've been sort of just winging it. Like, let's just see how long this lasts. Let's see how far it goes. If you thought that someone was going to commit to you in some way, I don't know that they can. And you need to adjust your expectations and what you do next accordingly. It's like, I feel like you and another person are just in this tight situation. And they're being weird. This person, oh my God, they're stoic. They may be, I have Virgo and Sagittarius here. Virgo and Sagittarius, for the record, struggle to express, especially when things get sticky and difficult. Y'all don't have that problem. You're ruled by Mars. You are very expressive people. Sometimes you can even be kind of explosive. You're like these little firecrackers, but at least everybody knows what time it is with you, right? Everybody usually knows how an Aries feels. You make it very clear. You're very passionate in your expression. But you've got someone around you who's going through something difficult with the Tower. They are reserved as well. They may be thinking about moving or relocating with like the Ten of Wands here and the Ace of Swords to Justice. Like, I got to get out of here. Maybe they want to be closer to you. They don't know how to be. They feel insecure in this situation and they are going to act like they don't care. Virgo, the Hermit, is withdrawn and aloof. And Temperance is someone kind of giving everybody the cold shoulder. They're just being calm, cool, and collected because they're going through something difficult and they really don't want anyone to know. Either that or they're being strategic. I was like, why? Tell me more. I know why now. Strength, that's Leo. The Five of Pentacles, they're not doing well. They feel left out in the cold or they may be struggling financially. And the Eight of Pentacles, someone may be working like at night. They're working with their hands. It's not the typical job they would usually do. I do think this person is willing to do work that they don't typically do to make ends meet. They are looking at the details, but they struggle to admit if they have financial problems, they struggle to admit that. And they might not want you or anybody else to know about it. But what you need to know, Aries, is there is a place for them or for you that can help, where they'd have fellowship and support, but it does require following the rules and commitment, but where there is a lot of camaraderie and creative collaboration. There could also be equal give and take, but someone may need help and they may need to move or relocate. It's a heavy burden, could be a heavy burden for you and them. And I was like, all right, well, what's Aries' reaction to all of this? You're the Ten of Wands. You're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders and you have been helping, or you're willing to pay for something like, I'll pay for this, I'll do that. I'll invest, you'll do the hard work and you'll invest. The Chariot, you may relocate. That's Cancerian energy. You're going to move forward. This, when I get the Ten of Wands in the Chariot, you may pay for like a moving truck or relocation expenses, or you may travel and relocate yourself. And the Magician, of course you are. You can't out-magician the magician, right? This is, I'm just going to have to science the shit out of this. I see an opportunity here. I'm going to work with the few elements that I have. I am Aries. Nobody panic. Hold my beer and watch me work my magic and drive this chariot. Like, I feel like you guys are like, I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to make something happen here. And I was like, what are they going to make happen? What are they driving towards? Because the Chariot is great. It's overcoming obstacles and challenges. So you're not sitting down. Like, the more an issue comes to the surface in the beginning of the month, you will start to plan, set goals, be resourceful. You'll carry the heavy load, but you and the GPS of your soul is turned on. The Three of Wands, the Knight of Wands, and the Page of Pentacles to the Four of Pentacles. I do think you're looking at someone who's struggling to invest in the same thing that you are. But some of you, or you want to be careful financially, like resources are important to you too. You're thinking about the future. I do have enough cards to suggest that there is a potential relocation, even if it's temporary for a time, but that's very future focused. There's a lot of excited Aries, rebellious, passionate energy here, and you're willing to give something a try. You want to give something a go. Some of you may invest in like maybe a temporary move, or like you go somewhere for a little bit of a reconnaissance mission. But you are dealing with the person who struggles to reveal their emotions, is in a situation they have put themselves in that they're not comfortable with, and they make things up as they go along. You have an opportunity to make all this go in a better direction for you, Aries. Get in touch with what you really want and be willing to take a leap of faith. There could be support here for the both of you. I almost want to do an extended, but I'm not going to. And they're telling me, you know, just take it as it resonates for you. This person in your environment, or whoever you're going through with, it's going to be a different person for each of you. For some of you, it's a spouse, one of your children, a family member, maybe your ex. Who knows, right? Something does need to change here. You keep doing what you need to do. Be flexible, be innovative, make smart choices, figure out what food chain you're in. Good things could come in for you if you work through this heavy emotion. Don't do the heavy lifting for this person, Aries. And communication between the two of you needs to be better. Because I do have the Two of Cups here, but I feel like that's more someone looking themselves in the mirror and they don't want to admit how things are for them. And there could be a Pisces, a Taurus, a Libra, a Scorpio, a Capricorn, or another Aries involved, Leo here as well. All right, Aries, I hope it resonates and I hope it helped. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.